You know what's funny? We spend year in school learning algebra and trigonometry, but nobody ever sit us down and teaches us how to actually manage our paycheck. And then we wonder why we are always broke by the third week of month. Well, today I'm going to share something that literally changed how I handle my money. And honestly, I wish someone had told me this when I got my first job. So, picture this, it's 28th of the month, you are staring at your bank account and you have got maybe enough for 2 cups of coffee. Sounds familiar? Yeah, I have been there. And the worst part is you have no idea where all your money went. It just vanished like someone kinds of magic trick. Except it not fun at all. Now, I used to think budgeting means tracking every single expense in some complicated spreadsheet, writing down every coffee I bought, every snacks, every little things. And let me tell you, that lasted exactly 3 days before I gave up. But then I discovered this thing called the 50-30-20 rule. And it's stupidly simple. I actually kicked myself for not knowing it earlier. Here how it's work. Every rupee or dollar or whatever currency you earn, you split it into three buckets. That's it. Just three. Not 20 different categories. Not some complicated system. Only three buckets. 50% goes to your needs, 30% to your want, and 20% to saving and debt repayments. And I know what you are thinking. That sounds too simple to actually work, right? But stick with me because this is where I get interesting. Let's start with 50% of needs. There are things you absolutely cannot avoid: your rent or EMI, your electricity bill, grocery, transportation to work, insurance, that kinds of stuff. The non negotiables. The thing that if you don't pay, you are either homeless, starving, or in serious trouble. Now, here the thing though, and this is where most people mess up. Need are not same as want discussed as needs. That expensive gym membership you never use, that no needs, that Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and four other streaming service you are subscribed to. Also not needs. Basic internet for work, sure, but you don't need all of them at once. Then come 30% for your wants, and this is actually my favorite part because this is where you get to enjoy your life. This is your dining out money, your weekend movie tickets, your shopping, your hobbies, and that fancy coffee you love. And here is why I love this category. You are not cutting out fun from your life. You are not becoming some rich person who never spend on anything enjoyable. So, you are just putting a boundary on it. 30%, that's your fun money. Spend it guilt free. Enjoy it. Live your life. But once it's gone until next month. And finally, the 20% that most people ignore until it's too late. Saving and debt repayment. This is your future. This is your emergency fund for when your laptop dies or your car breaks down. This is paying off that credit card debt that eating you alive with internet. This is investing for retirement. Even if retirement feels like millions of years away, this 20% is basically you being nice to future you. And trust me, future you will thank for you for this. Now, let me tell you a real example because number make more sense that way. Let's say you are on 50,000 a month after tax. 50% of that is 25,000 for needs. Your rent is 15,000. Grocery and utility are 7,000. Transportation is 3,000. That's add up to 25,000 perfect. 30% is 15,000 for one. That's your entertainment, eating out, shopping, whatever make you happy. And 20% is 10,000 that goes straight to saving or paying off debt before you even think about touching it. But here where people usually stop me and say, wait, my need are way more than 50% of my income. And look, I get it. Maybe you live in expensive city, maybe you are supporting family, maybe your situation is different. The rule is not set in stone. Think of it more like a target you are aiming for. If your needs are taking up 70% right now, then your goal is to figure out how to bring that down over time. Maybe you need a roommate. Maybe you need to move closer to work to cut transportation cost. Maybe you need to renegotiate some bills. The point is, you now have a framework to work with instead of just randomly spending and hoping it all work out. And here is something nobody tell you. The hardest part is not following the rule. The hardest part is being honest with yourself about what need and what wants. That food delivery apps you use 5 minutes a week because you are too tired to cook. That pushing into wants territory. That car you bought because you needed it even though public transportation was an option. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this. One more thing before I wrap this up. The 20% saving part, this is not just about stuffing money under your mattress. This is about building wealth. Start with an emergency fund or at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. Once you have that safety net, start investing. Put money in mutual fund, index fund, retirement accounts, whatever makes sense for your country and situation because inflation is real and money sitting in a regular saving account is actually losing value every year. Look, I'm not going to lie and say this rule will solve all your money problem overnight. It won't, but it will give you control. It will give you clarity. And most importantly, it will stop that panic you feel at the end of the every month when you are wondering where everything went. You will know exactly it went because you decided where it would go. So, here what I want you to do, grab your last month bank statement, sit down for 10 minutes and actually categorize your spending into needs, wants and saving. Just see where you are at right now. Not no judgment, just awareness because you cannot fix what you don't measure. And once you know your starting point, you can start working toward that 50-30-20 split. Trust me on this one. Your future self is going to thank you. And hey, this is help you. Drop a like and subscribe because I'm going to keep breaking down money stuff in simple terms. No fancy jargon, just real talk. See you in the next one.